Hi, it's Tess. Thanks for joining me today. Well, this week I thought I'd kick off and just sharing with everybody what I've been up to when it comes to my health and wellness overall. Some of you, if you haven't checked out my prior videos, recall that I did maybe 7 years ago, maybe a video on the Commit 30 planner and how I was utilizing that for my health and well-being. Well, like fast forward, I had about 3 surgeries since then. I kind of went off the bandwagon a little, but really, just to be honest, I think how many of us, we could count that, saying that a lot of us during COVID and other things that happened, challenges and personal things that, that's tend to happen. We're not perfect. But I'm so glad you're tuning in today. One of the things, if you don't know about me, is I like to share that journaling, especially for me as a tool, especially for my mental and physical health, I kind of picked up the pen and really started to go deeper with journaling within the last 2 to 3 years after I semi-retired in about 28 years in government. So, and I thought, that was one of the most healing things for me. I mean, sometimes you don't have days where you write anything because you're kind of like, not in the mood, or you just don't have anything to say, and there's silence, but that's okay. I think that one of the things that I appreciate about journaling is very forgiving. There's no one there to judge you, and you could just pick up where you left off. So, with that being in mind, again, thank you for joining me. And I'm just going to kind of go over some of the benefits that I've seen for myself and share that. And like I said in the prior video that I posted, there's quite a few videos out there that folks will share what they're doing in their scope of, like, when it comes to health and well-being. And and for me, I really was looking for something that would bring, for me, my goal was self-awareness, calming my anxiety, really reaching my goals and seeing growth. And like I said, is if you're somebody who's still debating about what journaling can do for them, or maybe you wanted to pick up where you left off like me, I'm glad you're tuning in, because honestly, like I said, it's never too late. So as you see in front of me, we're going to go ahead and get started. Here is my planner here, and usually if you check out my Instagram account, I usually will post weekly what I'm up to when it comes to what's encouraging me, some tips and inspiration, that, just like I said, what kind of fuels me to sit down and want to write and let things out. Because like I said, bottling up emotions takes its tolls physically, mentally as well. So that's been something on a journey I'm learning. But as you can see here in front of me is my A5 Hobonichi planner. And believe me, I've tried quite a bit of planners out there in the community. And this one just seems to be the one that fits perfectly. And also, but a caveat onto that, I'm also on Weight Watchers, and I've been doing Weight Watchers on and off for many, many years, too many to count. But I think this go around was a little different for me for 2023, is because made a commitment and a promise to myself. And my word for the year is consistency. So I'll go through that and show you that. But as you can see here, I wanted to decorate the Hobonichi, because usually it does not come. It's just the yellow, and there's no plastic cover to it. But sorry if the lighting's a little off, I think, because I'm a night owl, so I usually film at night. So I apologize if any glare there. But it says here, choose joy, time for God, gratitude, prayer, lovely thoughts, journaling. Me time is really the big goal there. Nourish and exercise your body, and sleep well. But again, for me, on this journey has a lot been, just really been eye-opening for me to see the things I think about on a daily basis, because a lot of it could be stinking thinking, if some of you already probably know that. It's like we get in our own way, and sometimes we got to push through, because we could be our own biggest critics. So, but let me begin and show you a little of what I've been doing, and if this helps to inspire you to do something similar, or to get started, or sometimes we need some fresh new ideas. I hope that will help. What I wanted to do is incorporate something like I did with my Commit 30, is having something that will show me, and it comes to affirmations, or it could be also something with vision, to see that. And I wanted to keep it, the main thing was simple. And that's what Weight Watchers is about. And people usually often tend to say with programs is, oh, it never worked for me and I didn't like it for whatever reason. And you gotta have to find your fit. But I feel like I've always been gravitating to go back to Weight Watchers is because I feel like it was easy for me just to see, and I love camaraderie with when it comes to the folks that you meet on weekly meetings, and I love that. I'm a people person, and just being inspired and hearing stories of others, how they're along their journey. So I think for me, I just, like I said, gravitated back. But this time around, I think I wanted to give it my all. I said to myself, I promise at least for 90 days to do everything in my power and use all the tools necessary to see the journey and how it's going. So I'll share with you at the end how my journey is going on that. But as like I said, so finding things that are going to, give me encouragement and just feeling inspired. So that's, you see there. And then I continue on because in the Hobonichi, they'll have blank pages and you could decorate if you want, throw stickers on that, do whatever you want. But I just wanted to point out a few things. As I said earlier, the word of the year for me is consistency. And I think it's important that to find a word that you want to just focus on for the year, or it could be a half a year. Just that something that you say you have, maybe have been, it's been a challenge for you to do. So for me, consistency has been that challenge. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to make it a point to continue to practice that daily. And so again, here's some of the things that I wanted to share on that. Now, also some of the things that I love about the Hobonichi is the system itself, and it's compiled of, here you have a whole year to look at, and I kind of covered it there, but I put a quote. And that's something that if you are a person that likes to plan ahead to know what day things fall on, that's great for you to have that as a nice resource. And then over here, you'll see that they have set up for every month, and then they'll have a calendar going downward that will give you the day and the day of the week. I thought for this part, I'm going to use this as an index. So that way, if I want to look back and say, oh, back in March, I remember I lost my first 5 pounds. I'm going to be able to go back and then refer to it later. But again, it's whatever you want to utilize. And that's what I like about the Hobonichi, because it's very flexible for that. So anyway, just sharing that. So you'll get a whole year of that, if you want to call it indexing or just kind of compiling the things you need to do. And like I said, I only got this in February, so I'm off to a little bit of a later start. And then as you proceed on, so that was one section. The next section is going to consist of, as you see here, is all the months, and I put tabs. They do not come with tabs, so just wanted to share that. And I kind of was trying to figure out here how I wanted to put this out. And you know what? You might have to do that with planners to see is what works for you. Some people might think this might be overwhelming to them. Or you might want to start simple. You can. So again, this is just some tips that I have, and that's what's helping me on my journey. And what I did was when I got this time around a new planner, I thought I'm going to start using stickies. And put here, okay, I envision this being my vision board. I envision this being, the index. So I think you really need to just kind of sit back a little, take a deep breath, and just say, okay, what is it that it's going to help me to get to my goals and get through just those things that I know is motivation-wise. So like I said, that's my monthly, and you could plan out when you have events going on. You could plan out when you have your weekly meetings. So, and again, I'm playing around a little bit here. I'm not too much on stickers. I use a lot of washi tape because I feel like the older I get, I'm kind of like, okay, it's okay, but I still want something simple, simplistic is there. So I'm just sharing with you some of the months now. Now here's April, which we're in, and I kind of love butterflies. You can see here I'm onto the whole floral, but I love the fact that you can, like I said, to the side, put your goals down or have more notes that you can put down below. But just have fun and plan out what's happening in your month, because that's the whole thing about on your journey, especially with weight loss, is planning ahead. And again, we foresee sometimes things happen, and that's okay, but you continue. But it's great to design your space. So that is, again, the second section is the monthlies. Now let me go ahead and share with you a little bit more in detail on the weeklies. So as a weekly, of course, this is for this week. I have it filled up with more washi tape and goals. And I usually use a color code system for myself so that I can visually see something. Again, this is something that I love to do, and it helps me to be inspired and creative. You could just put something here and not have all the color and washi tape going on. But let me show you how something like this would look with a little bit of anything empty, so you could see that. So as you can see at the top, they list the day of the week, each day of the week, and then also a small monthly that's over to the left. I put here some washi tape. And really, it's just a countdown of the time. I don't really follow the time guideline. I just say, okay, this is my morning up here. This is my midday, and then the evening, and then notes. And I play around with this. You're gonna have to see what fits for you and your style and how you think you could gravitate towards. So again, just to share that with you, and that's been helpful because Sunday night I'll sit down usually and kind of mark the things of when I'm going to go to the grocery store, or when I need to pre-plan and chop up things and freeze things. But if I wanted to point out right here real quick, this water, and I have water here, sugar, protein, coffee, vitamin D, vegetables, and fruit. Those are going to be things that I'm going to be studying on each of the topics. And we all know what the benefits of water, but I thought it's helpful just to go back in and really be a good student, especially if you're really wanting to get to a goal marker and know all the things and components that work and how your body works and what it does to your body. So that way you're well knowledgeable in that area. And I think that's important, like anyone going to school or being a student. Okay, so as you can see, that's the one component is the weeklies as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and head over to now the dailies. So the dailies really for me, and if you can see, I usually tab those as well, so then I could find them a little quicker. And like I said, I gave myself an opportunity to put a prayer to begin. It says, turning the page to a new year. And I love things about being able to have blank paper because, again, in this Hobonichi, you can create whatever you want. And, you know, like I said, or if you want to follow what in suit they have listed prior. But I like to just cover over and do my own thing. But I wanted to give myself a prayer for the new year. And I think my faith, that's the one thing that I feel strong about. That's also that guides me and especially in my beliefs and things like that, what brings me strength. Again, I went ahead and I posted more tabs because, again, when it comes to dailies, there's no tabs. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have them in the monthlies and also with the dailies. And so I just wanted to kick off too, before I went into the dailies, as a letter to myself. I think it's important that I said earlier, it's a promise I said to myself I wanted to do, and why I wanted to make that promise, because it's funny how it's so important to you know, make those promises and keep them with other people, but with ourselves we kind of put that in the back burner where we're not as important or diligent about making sure that we do those promises for ourselves. So I felt like if I ever need to go back, especially this was in January, I wanted to put it the first day of the year. And if I'm struggling, I want to go back and read something of encouragement where my future self is telling me things are going to be okay, you know, and you're going to stumble, but forgive yourself. And, you know, even though you've despite all your past attempts of trying to, you know, get your health in check, you're not a quitter. So I think that's important that there's something concrete here for me to read, because what would we tell a good friend or our relatives that we're somebody that we're supporting and they're going through a hard time? What would we say to them? And I think it's important that the dialogue with our own selves has to be positive. So I did that for the beginning. And then let me show you what a daily would look like. Usually it's blank like that, and you get a page for each day. It has a timeline, but again, you don't have to use it. I don't know if you could see here, there's going to be, and all these are on a graph, so they're lined, and the paper's really nice because, you know, it doesn't seep through the other sides. That's the one thing about Hobonichi. You could write through this, but you might want to do some pen checks to see if your favorite pens do not leak. I don't want to say everything does not go through. But I like the fact that on the top I have check off boxes if there's goals you want to set or you want to talk about goals you met that day. So again, this is how it looks, and usually they'll have here a whole month at the right bottom corner, and then some type of little quote here. And a lot of times these quotes, I don't get them because I just, if you think about it, they're, you know, they're different language. So a lot of times too, you're like, oh, okay, sounds great. Some things I do get, but others I don't. But let's go ahead and let me flip through to the current daily that I'm working on, or actually some past ones. So as you can see here, I have I started like around in February when I got it. Still kind of figuring out what did I want to utilize it for as a daily. I said journaling and what I did in the morning, what I did in the afternoon, what I read, and then that kind of continued. And then when I got to March, I like the fact that each month in the dailies begin with a clean page, so that if you want to decorate it, I'm all about, if you see here, all about recycling. So a lot of these graphic images I'll get from magazines that I subscribe to, and I just want to save money. I don't really want to go out and buy more stickers. I'll just use that something that inspires me for the season. And sometimes I might want to have a prayer here and show my gratitude. And some days you are not perfect. You might miss a day, and that's fine. Don't beat yourself up about that. But it's really about self-discovery and self-care. And for me, it's sometimes that these pages really let me write things down, what's eating me, because again, it's about what's eating me, and I shouldn't be reaching for the emotional part of food just to make myself feel comforted. But really, it's just all about self-awareness, as I said earlier. As I go through here, I did highlight sometimes when I see something or a tip or an inspiration at one of my weekly meetings, and I really want to write down a quote here. I'll do that. So I'm just trying to get to something here. And also mindset. I like that because it's true about mindset being something that's vital. Because all the messages we receive in our brain daily, what is it that's going to be the ones that we, run with versus, we let settle there. So, but again, if you're somebody who's still on the fence about what kind of planner you need, I think it's great if you go to YouTube and type Hobonichi, because I'm not the only one that uses this in the community. There's so many people that have systems set up, but I like the fact that, I just kind of found where I felt that what was the needs for myself and then went with it. But I just said, let me go back to the promise to myself. I love the fact that our leader in the meeting said we needed to write down, when I blank, I will blank, I can, and then blank, I will, and I do. And you had to fill in. And I think that's so important, because every week, if we get one of these, we have to kind of go ahead and write in on the app of the Weight Watchers, especially of the city we live in, and as accountability, write in these things that you feel that you're going to promise to yourself for the week. So it's great accountability. And then here we are into April, and I just decided to use something with more of nature. And again, if you're somebody who maybe right now journaling is still kind of something that it's new to you, what I'd started to come up with another idea is, have a theme at the top. And then with that theme, write something that you're celebrating. Even if if you think it's something small, write it down still, and then why you think it's important as well. And then 7 ways to improve your A1C. That's another thing. Something in your health. Maybe you wanted to find out some benefits of exercise. So when you write those things down and then you really study them out, I think it just encourages you more, because now you feel like you've had the tools and you have the knowledge now to continue on, because now it's not like I didn't know. I mean, this next one here, my body calls me. And so I'm reflecting on when I'm feeling pain, especially after surgeries I've had in the past and inflammation, is, what is it my body's saying to me and stuff. So maybe right now if you're a beginner in journaling and you're not sure what to say yet, these are kind of some prompts that might help. And specifically in Pinterest, there's so many, if you type in wellness prompts and journaling prompts, you're going to find things, and that will maybe help you on your journey to start putting the pen to paper. And then also for me, my footprint, you know, what am I doing to make a difference where I'm at now in my life? And am I helping others? Am I doing things that are encouraging and being kind and, you know, things like that? And so, and we're up to the current day. So as you can see, I wasn't perfect in filling everything out, but it just really goes back to about self-awareness for me, and then if I'm feeling that there's times where like I said, I'm not having a good day, I might just go back and flip to some pages and just encourage myself as well, or go into the Weight Watchers Connect app and share with somebody, hey, is anyone feeling this way? And that's what I love about that aspect of accountability and other people who are going on the same journey as myself. And as you can see here, I wanted to share just real quickly about the water. As I said earlier, that in my weekly, what I'm studying out is the benefits of water. And when I put that out there was water. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do some research and find out about all the benefits, some of the facts. And man, there was a lot of great things that, I mean, I did know about some of the things, but others I'm just like, you know, I think, wow, okay, so again, wrinkles in the skin and things like that, being vulnerable to skin disorders and how the body helps toxify, doing that a lot with, especially helping when we're dehydrated. But, you know, I love the fact that it talks about, too, lubricating the joints. And I know that for me, with inflammation and joints and all that, I know I haven't been drinking a lot of water over the years as much as I should. So, but again, doesn't mean that you can't start, better late than never, right? So, but anyway, so that's what the dailies consist of. And so I just wanted to share that. And you get, like I said, the whole year. So as I had tabs going for the whole year in the back for dailies. And then let me show you real quickly in the back is another tool I'm using for inspiration, and I put a tab there. And then real quickly, when I go to December 31st, as we get to the end of the year, I'm going to highlight everything that I felt were things I want to mention. So that's something else I wanted to do. And then I have a quick little affirmation here about letting go and letting grow. I like that. But just things like that you find, just, you know, putting things down on paper and just reminding yourself of why and why you're worth it. So as you can see here, my why, opening my eyes, and also just really looking at things in a different light than I did in the past when it came to attempts of trying to lose weight, and it was either the end off I didn't do right, then I would say, okay, but forget it, it didn't work out. And like I said, making the conscious effort of just keep going and not quitting. Okay. And again, some more things that I felt that were necessary to help me too was things I love to do when it comes to those moments alone. Also, I found this on Pinterest about taking care of yourself and some of the aspects of health and wellness. And, you know, that's one thing. And then other aspects, crafts and hobbies, well-being, self-care, personal development, goodwill. So again, it's a branch of a lot of different things, not just somebody who's just eating good. So it's just about your, it goes back to your health and wellness is all the biggest factors. And also things I can't control. I think also the mindset as well, and things I can control. So I think that was important for me to keep those in perspective, getting my sails ready if those challenging waves happen in life, right? So, and some stickers. And now again, when it comes to stickers, I've been finding quite a bit. Like I said, don't want to buy a lot, but when I do, I find that the encouragement one with me and my big ideas by the Happy Planner are great stickers that, again, they're kind of just simple. They're to the point, and they're just, you know, very motivational. So just in case if you're looking and seeing some of these stickers I'm having located in the back. One of the things I wanted to do is put some tracking in here. I mean, I could still track on the other items like my monthlies and weeklies and dailies, but the thing about with Hobonichi is I covered over some items that they addressed that you could use it from, but it's up to you. You could cover them over like I did. This one was a log here, and they indicate here there's a keep track. I'm still kind of debating how I'm going to use this daily time log, but I thought, well, if I put walk weights, cardio, balance, and dance, the things I want to get activity in, and then the day of the week. If it works for me, then I'm going to just put them as a permanent staple. But for now, I'm still kind of figuring out my schedule and how I want to do that, incorporate that. Down below is I put reading, especially I love reading books, calligraphy, journaling, and I can't remember what the SM was. Oh, social media is because you have to, I'm currently bad is I'm trying to make sure my timing is not on there for hours on social media, because you can get lost in a rabbit hole of influencers and things like that. So you just have to be cautious of time. For here, I went ahead and found this great little item in Pinterest, but it was free for weight loss tracking. I wanted to put something as overall, and just to let you know too, is my goal. So far, I'm close to 11 pounds, and I started back on February 15th. And I'm embarrassed to be honest and upfront and share that with people, because like I said, I feel that, you know, you got to identify with people out there who are going to be real with what they're going through and stuff. So, but I think at this point, and that's good, it might be a slow and steady pace, but I'm really learning a lot of things on this journey this time around, and being forgiving of oneself, and enjoying cooking and enjoying shopping, which I've never really did before. So I think that is, you know, looking at things with more of an eye of gratitude and blessings and things like that. But anyway, so you could put something like this in here as well if you're somebody who likes to look at numbers and see what was your best weeks and what was working in those weeks, even to reference back into your dailies and things like that, your weeklies, because I think that's important to find out what was working for you those weeks, and also trying to adjust if needed. And I put a little tip in here because the page kind of overlapped. Also important for me was also connecting with folks, especially favorite social media peeps that are especially on Instagram. I love the fact that some of these people are on the same journey as me, and they have good, bad, and in between days, just like all of us do. And so, but I just love that they provide an outlet to go to when it comes to tips, inspiration, and just being real people who are putting also themselves out there. A lot of them don't get paid, but a lot of them, maybe some of them do for a small percentage of things they sell. But like I said, I wanted to put that in here as a go-to staple. And then also there's more pages in here that have a bucket list that Hobonichi puts in here, but I kind of didn't want to use it that way. I wanted to use it as places and things that I wanted to do besides about the whole concept of just eating and having all these specific restrictions, but having fun. So I have cafes I want to visit, movies and series, and books I'm reading. And again, you could do whatever you want on these pages if it comes to, because I like to go back and see what was I watching in 2023. But also I kept this here with Hobonichi because this is my favorite things. And I thought some of them kind of are similar to what I had. But I like the fact that it says your sandwich ingredient you like, ways to cook eggs, what's your favorite walking route, chores, letter, proverb, facial feature, music, noodle, your pop star, mode of transportation, writing utensils, historic figure, things about myself. So again, this is a little bit fun because I always think back I wish my grandma and grandparents back in the days would have left diaries and things like this. It's just really interesting to read what people are going through at this time and age, especially with the speed of light, with the technology. And then this, I had to chuckle because I like to have fun on my journey. And I thought, well, this is funny. It says here, how to better enjoy conversation. And I think things to keep in mind about having a comfortable conversation and listening skills, a question that will make the other person happy. Don't worry if conversation hits a pause. And, but yeah, that's kind of funny, but I thought that was cute. And also another thing on the next page, I thought it was about my weekly meeting quotes. Our leader in the meetings weekly will put on a whiteboard her quotes of the week. And if there's something that sticks out for me, I wanted to go ahead and just start putting them in these boxes that were already provided here. And it could be tips of inspiration. It could be a favorite word. You could do whatever you want. But I just, like I said, I wanted to utilize these. And some of these are great. I think I love this one here. It says, every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. So I think that's awesome. And also there's a 365 days checkoff sheet. And I think one of the key things is, I'm still kind of debating about what to do with that, but hey, you never know if you're somebody that loves to track and have something colored in, penciled in, that might work for you. And I still have a continuation here of all the folks on social media, because I do find YouTube has great amount of people in there that also do on the same journey as myself. Also on podcasts and Spotify, I have a favorite track I like to listen to, especially when journaling or just relaxing reading. So put all that here, because again, that's where you're going to find your treasure trove of just tools and things that you, again, are not going to be lost, because you have it all here, and when you need it, it's going to be here. So I think that's great. Last but not least is your personal notes. If it gets lost, you could always definitely put your information. And on my very last page here, I have what says deep breaths, or like little love notes to your body. And I think those little things like that are so important and vital. So, but anyway, so I'm hoping that none of you are out there going, oh my God, where do I begin? Because really it wasn't meant for you to feel overwhelmed. It was just something to think about, consider, as if you're really serious about getting serious about where you're going on your journey, especially with wellness, is finding something that you're going to be able to utilize and do through journaling. And if there's something here that caught your eye, or you know, or you're feeling a little twitter in your heart to say, well, I think I can do that. There's so many journals out there. Doesn't mean you have to go for a Hobonichi. There's dotted journals. There's journals that with lines. There's journals. I mean, you name it, the gamut. Just find out what works for you. I usually utilize this here where I have a cover, and I like take it to me, you know, so I can want to go on the go, really. But if you're somebody who wants something that's more, like I said, with pockets and things like that, usually there'll be A5 covers. And here's, I wanted to share what I'm utilizing here. This has so many pockets, but again, sometimes I might flip out and use the other one, because a lot of times I don't want something that's quite heavy. If you're just going to leave it at home, that's fine. But I cut out some of the pictures I took from the Weight Watchers studio, and these were all hanging on the wall, these photographs. And I thought, well, these are great motivational. So I took pictures and then had them developed, and then they're just little affirmation cards here. I usually save my little name when we get odd tags, because I think it's important of, hey, this is me, I came. Also, just some little things like, you know, if you're one that want to have some stencils in there. Every time I got a charm, I save these, because it's, to me, very important. I continue. And let's see. Oh, and then my charms, because I think everybody probably puts theirs in different places or has them displayed in various spots. But if you have a zipper compartment there, you could always go ahead and have those there. But I think it's important that we, you know, look at these and take pride in knowing all the hard work you do. So like I said, usually have that. So there's so many ways. Like I said, do your research, find out what type of planner will work for you. If you just want to journal your feelings and not go into great extent as I did, that's fine too. I think one of the things is, but going back to really is of just finding what's going to help gravitate you to get going on that journey you need to, through where there is physical, mental, that self-care is very vital. So, but anyway, so I hope this was somewhat, you know, take some little golden nuggets here and you could use that. So, but I appreciate you so much. And if, like I said, if you could like this video, I would appreciate it. And also tune in for next week, because I'm going to be sharing also another outlet of what I'm using for when it comes to journaling as well in my mornings. So I hope you guys have a great day and a great week ahead. Okay, bye-bye.